So yeah, Rob, like most of our bow doors, this door's rated for 2,000 pounds. Unlike some of our doors, this door's outfitted with stainless steel cylinders.
Oh, I see that.
Yeah, it just provides a little bit more stable work platform when they're up here doing dive and rescue operations.
Especially when you've got a load on here, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Or if you're in a following sea state where the waves are slapping up against the bottom of the door.
Much more stable platform. Dive ladder.
Yep, little dive ladder here for, you know, diver recovery. We also have a station here on the side of the boat for diver recovery. The bow lockers are also equipped with these storage lockers here. Lockable storage, stainless steel T-handles.
Oh yeah, I see that.
Yeah, storing firefighting gear, hoses, nozzles, other equipment that they use for firefighting.
Yeah, second station here for the Mercs, I see.
Second station, yes sir. Equipped with a bow thruster control, Mercury's new fly-by-wire control station. You also have bow door controls down here underneath the dash, tilt wheel.
Oh yeah.
Then obviously emergency
bow
lanyard
thruster,
there.
kill cord, dive door.
Yeah, starboard side dive door. This dive door is equipped with these ears. We have a dive ladder up on the roof that will come down here attached to these ears so you can get divers in and out of the water here at on the starboard side of the boat. Or rescue swimmers, obviously.
Bottle racks in here too, Justin? Up against the house here?
Yeah, dive bottle racks for either dive operations or for SCBA, self-contained breathing apparatuses for the firefighters. Yeah, on the port side of the boat, we got this 500-pound davit. The davit's basically set up so that they can do sonar operations with towfish, or if they want to assist divers in and out of the water, or pull tanks or whatever, you know, anything up to 500 pounds essentially that they can yard over the gunnel, they can use this davit for. Yeah, so this bow monitor is powered by the 1,000 GPM fire pump that's located astern. This is a manually operated monitor here, up and down, port and starboard, a lock on it. This monitor is also equipped with gated Ys, so you can supply, you know, shore-based firefighting systems or supply for shore-based firefighting apparatuses.
You have a fire truck parked up here somewhere, you can pump water up to that
Absolutely.
truck.
You can sit here and pump water all day long, you know, for limited access vehicles or areas where there's no hydrants or stuff like that. And
then again, plenty of room on this forward deck for gear.
Yep, we rate this front deck or the vessel itself for 4,500 pounds. I've got a really large front deck up on here, so you could get small side-by-side or quads, obviously injured patients or Stokes litters or anything like that up here on the front deck. Divers gear, you know, obviously divers travel with a lot of gear, especially if you're running comm systems and stuff like that, so plenty of room up here.
And then we've got another monitor up on the roof here, right?
Yeah, so that's a rooftop monitor right there, obviously. It's remote controlled from inside of the cabin. So if you want to sit inside the cabin and run the monitor via joystick, you can sit in there and run it. Set this one here at, you know, on station, go inside and operate that guy. We've also got port and starboard spotlights up on the roof. You've got some emergency light bars, port and starboard. Obviously your GPS antennas. Port and starboard VHFs. The boat's got a Motorola department radio on it and AIS system. Also up on this roof, FLIR, forward-looking infrared.
You can barely see it back there with that big FLIR unit back there on the aft part of the roof here.
Correct, and Ray Marine radar up there also. Also things that you can't see. Port and starboard running lights, 360 anchor light up on top, just aft of the FLIR camera.
Let's step in the cabin, man. Check out some of the systems in here and get this thing underway. Walk through door right there.
Yeah, walk through door, diamond sea glaze, swinging door on the front. Same door on the stern.
Diesel furnace. He got the heat on right now.
Diesel furnace keeps it nice and moisture free in here, nice and dry and warm for the people that are on board during operations. Sliding front windows, window coverings for all of the windows, fore and aft. Port and starboard, fore and aft defroster fans here over the aft windows. Defroster fans also up here on the port and starboard windows. Work well in conjunction with the diesel heater just to push the air around inside the cabin here.
I like these Bentley seats too.
These Bentley seats with these shockwave seat bases provide a nice little foundation for rough water. So co-pilot position over here basically is where all of the firefighting is going to take place. That is the engineer's seat. So on the left-hand side of that panel, you basically have an ignition switch over here. You can turn the battery switch on for the fire system, start the fire system up. Priming panel here for priming the system. Basically, this is an engine monitoring system or a fire pump monitoring station. We'll show you engine RPMs, discharge pressure, gives you the ability to increase and decrease the throttle or the pressure.
Is this showing your monitor and what direction it's facing?
Yeah, it is. This is a indicator for the rooftop monitor.
Okay.
Basically shows you where the monitor's facing, keeps you safe essentially.
Yeah.
We've also got it set up so you can use the FLIR camera up on the roof, so you can access the FLIR camera.
Okay, right on your Raymarine.
Right on my Raymarine screen. And it's also looking across the roof, so you can see the rooftop monitor. So if you are discharging water, you got, keep a pretty good eye on what you're doing, how you're doing it.
And then joystick control of that roof monitor.
Joystick control also has an automatic valve controller over here, so you can open and close the valve either via the switch or you can do it with the trigger here. That is a master stream monitor up on the roof, so you can either go from straight stream or an open pattern for fighting close fires or something that you want to saturate that's within close proximity.
An additional panel for another MFD if they want to add one later, right?
Yes, sir. They already have this panel in stock at their facility, so they had us wire it in, put a blanking panel in there, so all they need to do is pop it out, plug it in, and they've got a second MFD over there. So yeah, VHF radio, top right-hand side there, Motorola department radio, master heat switch for the Webasto heating system on board, rooftop spotlight controller. You have one of these on the starboard and on the port side. Bow door controls here from the radio bar. 16-inch Raymarine MFD.
Got all your switching.
Yeah, all of our switches, all of our accessory panels there.
Remote batteries.
Remote battery switches. Also automatic charging relays, because this vessel has 5 batteries on board. We're just trying to make sure that all the batteries stay maintained and fully charged at all times.
That's an emergency shut-off for the fire pump?
Yep, emergency shutdown for the fire system. We just want the captain of the boat to have the ability to shut the fire system down in the case of an emergency. He's kind of like the last line of sight over here. The vessel's also equipped with high water alarms, got 4 2,200 gallon an hour bilge pumps, but you have a 1,000 gallon per minute fire system in the back. So we want high water alarms just to give the operator an indicator if there is an emergency, at 1,000 gallons a minute.
Could be a leak on that system or something, pumping water into the boat. So
and things could go wrong really quick at 1,000 gallons a minute.
Vessel view, FLIR, bow thruster, joystick. Kind of the ultimate control center right over here.
Yes, sir. Yep. Kind of a little armrest area, cup holder, thermostat over here for the heater, carbon monoxide detector. It is a great little operating station. Seat slide here on the Bentley seat, so you can slide it back, get it out of your way. You can operate the boat standing up. Obviously, bow station that we talked about earlier. Fantastic for doing bow operations, landing the beach, rescue and stuff like that.
I want the job running this boat.
Right, absolutely.
It's like the ultimate fire job. And then a ton of space in here, in this cabin,
Yep, ton of space. We figure they're going to be transporting divers, they're going to be transporting EMTs on board, possibly Coast Guard rescue swimmers. Also enough space in here to bring a Stokes litter in here with an injured patient, and secure them inside here, inside the wheelhouse.
Laid out really well, man.
Yes, sir.
Well put together.
Lots of storage.
Yeah. Storage
under these boxes.
Storage under the seats, right?
Yes, sir.
Right there. Tons of storage in there. Look at that. All right. Here's the business end of this whole operation here.
Yeah, here's the business end.
Fire pumps below this hatch, huh?
Yes, sir. 4.3 liter fire pump
Kodiak.
located in this locker here. Yep, Kodiak engine. Fantastic engine. It's got 1,000 GPM fire pump coupled to it up front here. Yep, you can see all the aluminum plumbing going forward and going up onto the roof here. So this pump is rated for 1,000 gallons per minute at 10 foot of lift. But because we install these pumps with a flooded suction, you get substantially increased efficiency of the pump. So this pump will be outputting more like 1,500 GPM than 1,000 GPM,
Yeah.
which is great for the customer because they're getting more than what they pay for,
Yeah.
essentially.
Some serious water, man. Right on. Let's shut this down. Of course, we've got our big Mercury power plants back here as well. Twin Mercury 350 V10s. And we just did a little bit of testing on the way up. We got well over 40 miles an hour. Pretty good cruise, but we'll show some of that here in a little bit.
Yeah, great engine, especially with these 18-inch diameter props. You know, with these rescue vessels, you know, not only are they trying to get on scene and respond quickly, but with the firefighting apparatuses, once you get on scene, it's important to be able to stay in position while you're discharging water.
Yeah.
If you can't stay on scene and keep that fire pump pointed in the right direction, you're no good. You can't put a fire out. So these big 18-inch diameter wheels back
They have
here
the torque to hold
do a
this thing.
fantastic job. Yes, sir.
Love the big rack here. See, we've
Yep.
got horns on there.
Engine guard,
Yep.
line guide, 4-inch tow post. Once again, with those 18-inch diameter wheels, this thing has huge towing capacity. Port and starboard swim steps back here to aid in self-boarding or,
yeah.
you know, dive rescue off the stern of the boat. Small ladder on the port side. Port and starboard storage lockers back here at the stern. We haven't used these lockers for any rigging. They are just open for storage.
You can see these V10s have the new Mercury E steering system too. Electric steering. You can see these steering rams on the front here. They use about half the power of electric over hydraulic steering. So
Yes, sir.
really
This-
interested to see how this whole thing plays out. I think this is going to be a great thing moving forward. You know.
Agree. It's
Yeah.
super easy for us as
Oh.
installers to install it and to rig it.
No more hydraulics.
No more hydraulics.
Yeah.
Not a bunch of hoses laying back here that need to
And
be serviced
one
and
finger
replaced.
steering
Yes,
on
sir.
the wheel.
Absolutely.
You know? Yeah.
No, fantastic.
Yeah.
Mercury sure seems to have it dialed in, you know. We haven't seen a lot of changes of recent, but it seems like, you know, once you get it dialed in, you don't change it, right? If
For
it's
sure.
not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah. Well, let's get this thing going, man. Let's pull off the beach and get underway here,
Let's
buddy.
do it.
Okay, we're on station now. You got the Mercs and Skyhook, right, Justin?
Yes, sir.
Let's fire up these fire pumps. I see a remote battery switch right here.
Yep, turn that battery switch on.
Okay, on right there.
Turn the
Okay.
ignition switch to the run position.
Run. Okay.
Let's go ahead and prime that pump. Pull that
So,
primer
right
button
here?
there. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep. Now the pump's primed.
Primed. Okay.
Let's go ahead and start her up.
Firing up the Kodiak.
I'm going
Right
to open
there.
up the valve on the monitor.
Okay. There goes the bow monitor right there. There we go. Now we got RPMs right here on the pump bus, right, Justin?
Correct. You got engine RPMs up here.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, your dummy lights for the engines down here below.
Mm-hmm.
Here, where it says idle engine, is where it's going to show
Okay.
what you're asking for.
Okay.
So right now it's going to show RPMs because it's
Okay.
in RPM mode. So
Okay.
we're asking for 1,050 RPMs down here.
Okay.
Up here is the actual RPMs that the engine is idling at.
Okay. And I can see we're gaining more pressure out here. Then we've also got a pressure. We can monitor
Correct.
the pressure as well.
Yeah.
Push that button.
Got to hold it down.
Hold it down.
Until the
okay.
light turns yellow.
Okay, now, and this will go up to 150 PSI, correct?
Yeah, this pump is capable of 150 PSI.
Okay, now we're generating some pressure. Look at that.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Okay.
the nice feature of this pressure mode is if you have multiple discharge ports open at the same time,
Yeah.
and you close one down, you're not going to get a water hammer. The engine will automatically reduce the RPMs to maintain that 150 PSI.
Gotcha.
Or if you're opening up additional discharge ports, the engine will idle up to maintain that 150
Okay.
PSI.
So we're at 50 PSI. Let's crank this thing up. Now this is a manual monitor. Once we get this thing going, we can jump on it. Let's just crank it all the way up.
Yes, sir.
Max pressure here. Run the RPMs up. There is 150. PSI right there. Now let's go jump on this monitor. Look at that thing. We're reaching way out there. Check that out. So right here, right there, we can swivel here and you can feel the pressure pushing the boat around.
Yes, sir.
You know?
This is where the sky hook and the station keeping comes in handy to keep the boat on station while you're discharging water.
This thing turns easily.
It does.
You think with that kind of pressure, you know, you'd have to put some force on that, but that thing spins quite easily.
And you can feel the engines counteracting the force.
You can, because this is wanting to push the boat around, right? You get your elevation right here. Most likely going to be something like so. Well, you can reach way out there, Justin, with this thing. We need these on our fishing boats.
right? Yeah. High pressure washdown.
Oh, yeah.
Take the scales right off the fish.
Or somebody's kind of fishing your spot. You can kind of get in there and, you know. Look at that.
Set some boundaries.
Huh. That's cool. So we'll leave that one running. Let's set that right about there. Lock it into place. Let's get that roof monitor going, huh?
Perfect. Let's do it.
So that's all controlled right here.
Yep, so the rooftop monitor is controlled with this joystick.
Monitor deployed.
Correct. Yep,
Okay.
let's press that. That's going to put the monitor in a safe position to start discharging water.
Okay, we can see it coming up right here. This is our indicator that shows where that monitor is, right there. Okay, so we're up at a safe level.
Yes,
okay,
sir.
Now we turn the water on right back here.
Yes, sir, at that valve open switch.
There we go. Open the valve. We've got, there it goes. There she goes. And you can see right here on the indicator, we're pointing straight forward now. With this joystick, we can just kind of go to starboard. We can start swiveling that thing around like so. Getting her over to starboard. We can bring her back. You can see the indicator light right here as we're swinging that monitor around with the joystick. And you can bring it down by pushing it forward, right there. Okay, way too far down, but it kept itself from hitting the front of the boat though. Now we're going up. Let's go way over to starboard here. Look at that.
Yeah, Rob, we programmed safety positions on that monitor so you can't accidentally spin it around and blow off your antennas or your radar or your
FLIR
infrared camera. Yes, sir.
So now you've got the Mercs in skyhook and heading control, right?
Correct.
Okay. So they're counteracting the pressure of these pumps.
And they're fighting right now because we're discharging a thwart ship.
Yeah.
We generally try to get our firefighters to discharge within 10 degrees of the bow.
Okay.
Keep the boat and the engines behind the stream. Gives you better control, allows you to stay on station. Obviously, if you can't stay on station, you can't put the water on target, can't put fires out.
So let's get both of them kind of off the bow here. Now we've got maximum water pumping straight off the bow. 1,500 gallons a minute coming out of that Kodiak.
Yes, sir.
At its maximum discharge, right?
It is. The
Right
rooftop
here, right?
monitor has got a master stream on it, so you can either go straight water stream like we have right now, or you can open it up to a fan for close quarter firefighting.
Yeah, we've got it pretty well dialed in right here.
We do,
right?
yes, sir.
Man, this is cool. Never thought I'd get to sit at the controls of one of these,
Right?
man.
A little bit different than your average day of boating.
Again, we might be bringing my boat to Munson to get one of these put on the roof.
Perfect.
Okay, we've got the roof monitor shut down. We need to shut down this bow monitor now, Justin. Just hit the idle button.
Yeah,
here.
you can just hit the idle button. It'll
Idle.
bring the whole system back to idle.
Right there. Okay, pressure's coming
Perfect.
down. Look at that.
I'm going to walk out and I'm going to close this monitor real
Okay,
quick.
shut the valve. Okay, pump off right here.
Yep, pump off there.
Okay. Okay, we're off. And leave the batteries on or shut it
You
all
can
down?
go ahead and shut the batteries off. We're
Okay.
done discharging water.
Remote battery switch. Everything's shut down. Fire's out.
Perfect. That's it.
Oh, we
Fire's
saved the
out.
building.
That's right.
We saved the seagulls that were out there. They're nice and clean now, though.
That's right.
What a blast, man. Well, let's get this thing up to speed and run those V10s and see what they can do. And yeah,
let's do
get
it.
some performance numbers on this 32 by 10, 13,000 pound landing craft, right?
13,000 pound landing craft, dry weight, 200 gallons of fuel on board. All right, Rob, we're going to come up on step here.
Here we go. Feel that torque on those V10s, man. Revolution X props.
Yeah, it's amazing how much torque those 18-inch wheels have.
Mega torque. 13,000 pounds. Is this a V-hull?
Yeah, it's a monohull, 16-degree dead rise.
Okay.
Like I said, we rate this boat for 4,500 pounds. With those 18-inch props back there and those V10s, you know, we would have figured that this vessel could take 4,500 pounds and only lose about 5 miles an hour off of its top speed.
Yeah.
So probably run around 40 miles an hour with 4,500 pounds of gear or cargo on the deck.
That's impressive. Wow. And corner. These things, I know that we were on your boat a couple years ago, just cornered on a dime.
This thing corners wonderfully.
Yeah.
I generally spin these things around in the Laconner channel while we're doing our photo shoots there in town.
Yeah.
The channel is only about 150 feet wide, and we do 40-mile-an-hour turns in there with this boat.
Yeah. How about cruise economy with these Mercs? What are you seeing, Justin?
So with these V10s on this boat here, it looks like that 4,500, 4,000 RPM range is going to be about the best cruise speed. You know, at that RPM range, you're still running along 34, 35 miles an hour, but your fuel consumption is around, you know, 22 to 26 gallons an hour. Compared to full throttle, where the vessel's running, you know, 47 to 50 miles an hour and burning upwards of 60 gallons an hour.
You're not going to do that for long, but you've got that capability with this boat.
You've got that capability. You know, we figure with 200 gallons of fuel, this boat has the ability to travel, you know, an hour in any direction, arrive on scene, and pump water for up to 18 hours and still have enough fuel to make it home.
This thing packs a punch, man. A lot going on a 32-foot landing
Yes, sir.
craft.
Absolutely.
Wow. Talk about capabilities. Let's get top speed, man. I know we had it up earlier to about 45. Let's see what we can do here. Look at that. We're already at 45. 47. Yeah. 47, 48 miles an hour.
Yeah, 47, 48.
Yeah.
Comfortably.
And you haven't trimmed the outboards. Active trim, I think, is on. If you turned everything off and played with the trim, that we'd easily get over 50 miles an hour.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Impressive, man. Well, they're going to be happy with this landing craft. It's going to New York somewhere?
Yeah, so this is going to Southold, which is on the northern end of Long Island, New York.
Yeah.
A small community of about 2,500 year-round residents, mostly volunteer-based fire department. This is a huge asset for their community, you know, and we take that very seriously. You know, we want to make sure that, you know, the boat meets customer expectations, and that this vessel is in service and you know, capable for years to come, you know. Super important to the community, and we take this very seriously. You know, the work that we do, if done improperly, you know, could cost somebody their lives. So we take it very seriously.
For sure. Thanks for the time, Justin.
My pleasure.
Always a blast coming out here with you. If you buy a Munson boat, you will get to work with this guy, Justin Lagerway. Log on to munsonboats.com online. You can follow them on YouTube as well. They've got an expansive YouTube page that's growing all the time. Then live the boat this week. Drop your comments and questions down below. Hope we get another chance to get on a fireboat again like this. This was fun. Thanks for stopping by. Give us a follow. We'll catch you next time.